So we are going to talk about the basic function of the Windows Server. Okay, and in that basically what we are going to do, we are also going to take some discussion about that. Okay, so let me first of all log in. So the discussion is gonna be happen first of all regarding the Hyper-V, and before this, first of all we will discuss the activation method like KMS and all the things. Okay, means how we can activate our Windows, and after that we will see how we can configure the Active Directory, DNS, DHCP, and all the things. Okay, and also we are also going to talk about adding, removing roles and features. Okay, so how we can do that, let's discuss. So let me take the access of the using server. If anybody is using this, guys, who is Anirvin, are you there? Anirvin, are you there?
Yes, sir.
If you are using your machine, so you can stop using that because of I'm going to take the access of your machine.
No, sir, I'm not using it.
Okay, fine. 847, who is using? Okay, let me log in once again. I think someone is already using it. So let me take this access. Just wait for a few seconds, okay, guys? Let me just turn on the machines and then we will just start the discussion. Okay. Okay, so I'm inside the Windows server right now, and one more thing, like if you will press the Alt Control Delete button, so that is not going to work. Okay, so what we need to do over here, we have the action option. Let me just follow the process. Let me tell you. Once you will click on the action over here, then you have the guest OS. Okay, in that you have to send the key that is Alt Control Delete. Let me do that. Guest OS, send keys, Alt Control and Delete. Why it's not working? Okay, I got it. So after that, the password which is you guys have assigned admin@123. Which password you have assigned? I think that PC I have assigned to the to whom did I assign this? Tejaswini, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Tejaswini, what is the password you have given over here on that machine?
I have given rooted. Um, 1 minute, sir.
What is the password that is you have given on the Windows Server machine on this machine?
I have given caps Lohitesh@123.
Can you write in the chat box?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the password is that is the incorrect password. Please check once.
I have given same password.
Let me just show you. Is
Yes, sir.
that is incorrect password. At least you should know about the what is the password you are going to get it. Again, I have to remove. Okay, guys. So we have a Windows server over here. Okay. So now let's discuss basically the few part of the Windows server. Okay. And in that Windows server part, we are going to discuss. Okay, so I'm inside this Windows server. So let's discuss the basics part of this. Okay, so let's discuss first of all why the cursor is not moving. Okay, so let's discuss the basic features first of all regarding this. Like, the first one is we are going to talk about how we can activate the key. Okay, means what process we have to follow. So if you can see over here, so that this Windows server is looks like your Windows 10 operating system. Okay, means this is the copy of Windows 10 operating system which is we have. Come on, the bit of slow is that because of this is working on the virtual machines. Okay. So once you will click on settings over here, so move, this will basically open the settings of that your machine, and then you have to go, let the settings come up. See, after that you have to go in systems. Okay. So in the system we have multiple things like about the system. You can get it over here. Let it come up. Just like, let me scroll it down. Here is the about option. Okay, once you will click on the about option, so you will get all the kind of features about this PC. Okay, so then over here you have the option that is change product key or upgrade your edition of Windows. Okay, so by following this option you can upgrade the your product key if you want. Okay, so you can change your product key or the activation key, which is we called it. Okay, so we have the two modes which is we can assign that your, like if you can see over here, if you can read that your product key should be in an email form, whoever sold or distributed Windows to you, or on the box of the Windows DVD or USB came in. Okay, means if you purchase this Windows 10 operating system or this suppose that the Windows Server operating system from the market, so you will also get the some DVD drive or some kind of USB pen drive over there. Okay, so by putting that pen drive you can also get the product key over here. Whenever you put the pen drive, so you will get the product key over here. Okay, then you will click on next after putting the product key. Okay, and then that's gonna be happen. Okay, so the next step after that, you can press the next. Okay, if that product key is fine, so that will take it. Otherwise this will give you this kind of error. Now if you wanted to troubleshoot any kind of problem, if you have, Okay. Now, this is the edition of the what is that edition? That is Windows Server 2019 Essentials. Means that the inside the activation basically you the next upgraded version of this Windows Server 2016 is Windows Server 2019. Okay. So once you will go in the Windows updates and once you will click on the updates over here, check for updates, then you will get it. Okay, otherwise you will not get any kind of updates after that. Okay, so this is the thing that is regarding the updates which is we do not have any internet connections on that, so that's why we are not getting any kind of other process over here. Okay, so we have multiple things like we do have the Windows security. So inside the Windows security, that's the whole process is same as like your Windows 10 operating system. Okay, so whatever you wanted to do on the Windows 10, you can also do it in the Windows Server 2016 as well. Okay, so that is the thing. Now, the next thing is server manager. Okay, so let's discuss how we can manage any kind of role features, how we can add role features and all things. Okay, so in a Windows server, we have the server manager option over here. Okay, so you can just open the server manager, and in that basically we are going to do some role means we are going to add some roles over here. Okay, so how you can add the roles? Simply you have to click on add role and features. Okay, and after that you can just click on next, and then this will ask the role based feature or the remote desktop service installation. So we want role based or the feature based installation. So we do not have to do any changes, just go for the default settings, click on next, and then we have to click on next after that. Now, then after that we have the server roles. Okay, let the server role come. So inside the server role, if you can see over here, let me just make it zoom. Okay, so inside the server role, basically we have multiple roles in that, right? Just like we have Active Directory ADCS, Active Directory Certificate Service. So what is this Active Directory Certificate Service? So Active Directory Certificate Service is used to create certification authorized and related role services that allow you to use or the issues and the managed certifications used in a variety of the applications. Okay, so basically we can this is a kind of certificate regarding the roles which is we have. Now the next role which is we have, only the few parts we are going to discuss over here. Okay, just like we do have the DNS server option. Okay, we do have DHCP, and then we have Active Directory ADDS, Active Directory Domain Service. So what is this Active Directory Domain Service? What is the use of it? Let me tell you that first. So Active Directory Domain Service stores information about objects on the network and makes the information available to the users and network administrator. Okay, so this Active Directory Domain Service is made to manage the user's information. Okay, in a simple terms, if I'm talk about now, the Active Directory domain service use domain controllers to give network users access to permitted resources anywhere on the network through a single logon process. Okay, so you can give the access of the internet by using the single logon process with the multiple users. Okay, means you can provide the logon process of the multiple users. Let me tell you one more thing. Let me explain it first on whiteboard. What is the use of Active Directory domain services? See, we we have the feature that is we call ADDS. Okay, so in that ADDS, what we can do, this is, suppose that this is our server. Okay, this is our Windows server, and here we have the multiple users, like this is connected with the switch, and then here we have the multiple users. Okay, let me draw the scenario. Now suppose that this is user A, this is user B, this is user C, and this is user D. So suppose that with using the Active Directory domain service, what we can do, we can give the access regarding internet. Suppose that this user required internet. Okay, so we can just allow the internet access with using the Active Directory domain service by using the two things, that is, we called it login process. Okay, so inside the login process, what are the things we have? We do have username, and then we have the password. Okay, now the service is not going to end only on this. We do have the permissions as well. Okay, means we can set the permission as well with using the Active Directory domain service for the particular user, right? Suppose that we can just enable the service that the D user can only take the access using internet. Okay, only D user can take the access of the internet. Any of the others, they cannot take it. Okay, so they cannot take. So if you want, so we can also give the permission, that is, we have the two kind of permission, that is allow or deny. Okay, and in that allow or deny, we have the multiple permission, that is read, write, and read write. Okay, and we have full control. Okay, so we can set these permissions for the users as well. Okay, so these are the things is the Active Directory domain service can provide. Okay, now let me just jump to the this part. Oh, where is that? Okay, so this is the thing, guys, that is we have regarding the Active Directory domain service. Okay, now if I wanted to enable this service, and if I wanted to enable this role, so what you have to do, you have to click on the Active Directory domain service, then you have to click on add features, because of we are going to add this feature. Okay, what we are going to do, we are going to add these features. So after that, you have the option, that is click on next. Okay, after selecting the feature or the role, you have to select on next, and then you have to enable this box, that is net framework 3.5. Okay, because of this will show you, like, see, inside the feature of the Active Directory, these are the features which is we have. Okay, so whatever the feature that is you want, so you can enable the features from here. Okay, like we can just enable the network load balancing feature, right? We have multipath, we have media foundation. Okay, so we have multiple features which is we can allow from here. We can also enable the feature, that is BitLocker drive encryptions. Okay, so we can enable the features from here according to the requirement. We do have multiple features, let me show you as well. See, we do have HTTP proxy feature as well. We do have simple TCP IP service. Okay. We do have SMTP service. We do have SNMP service. Okay. We do have TFTP client. We do have Telnet client. Okay. So we have multiple features which is we can enable that. Okay, now after pressing that, you have to click on next, and then you have to install the feature. Okay, then you have to click on install because of we want that feature enabled. Okay, so this is going to install the feature. Might be this is going to take a few minutes or a few seconds. Okay, once the role and the feature will be added, so you will get it inside the server manager. Okay, means active ADDS feature, you will get it in that inside that. I will also explain you when the installation has been done. Okay, so let the installation begin. Let the installation complete. I'm going to minimize that from this option. So where you will get the feature over here. Okay. Inside the over here you are getting the roles and server group, right? This option you are getting, suppose that. So over here you will get this tab, another tab regarding the Active Directory. Okay. So if any notification will be founded out, so you will get the notification from here. Okay. So what is the notification you got? That is feature installation. Okay, so you can just give anything which is you want. The feature installation is failed, so we have to install it once again. So guys, sometimes we can do that and sometimes we cannot. Okay, so these are the total features which is we have, and with following that only we can install the features which is we want to do that. Okay, now after that, if I'm talk about the multiple tools, we do also have the tools as well. Okay, like we can run the disk cleanup command, and with using this disk cleanup, we can add and we can basically clean our disk as well. Like if any error will be founded out in our disk, so we can also clean that as well. Okay, now we do have ISCSI initial software as well. Okay, so we have multiple things over here. We do have the PowerShell, Windows PowerShell. Okay. So we can also add the feature as well. And we do have the print management. Okay. So these kind of features and the things which is you can do. Okay. Now one more thing I'm going to tell you regarding these services. Let me open the services. So then we are going to also talk about the some service as well regarding the Windows server. Okay, this is working very slow, guys. Okay, so let me do one thing. I will also follow you. I will send you the some kind of guide, that is how you can like enable the Active Directory domain service and ADDS. Okay, so how you can do that, that thing also I will tell you exactly how you can do that. Okay, just let me tell you. See, we have the same option, right? Means you can add a role and a feature. Then after that, we have role-based installation feature. Okay. Then we can just select a pool. Basically, means we do not have any do changes over here. And then we can add this feature. Okay. So you can add the feature. After that, here is the option which is we have to enable. Okay. So after enabling this, the feature is going to install. Okay, so once the installation process has been done, then you will get this kind of domain controller option. Okay, so domain controller is basically this is regarding the your DNS, domain name service. So that one is also wants to configure at the same time, so you also have to do the same thing. Okay, so you can give the add a new forest. Okay, means you have to add a new domain name over here. Okay, regarding suppose that uh, I have suppose that completed the installation of the Active Directory. Okay, just like just see over here, let me just explain first. Suppose I have done the installation of ADDS. Okay, and in that ADDS, like why we use it? Because of the some users. Okay, so if you have to create the users first, okay, after that. So how you can create the user? With using the DNS, domain name service, or domain name system, whatever you can call it. Okay, so you have to add a new forest domain over here. New forest domain. And inside the domain name, if I'm talk about the domain name, so always you have to give the full domain name. Like suppose that if you wanted to search any website, so what you need to do, you have to give the full domain name, like webking.com, right? Or any kind of things, .com or any kind of thing. So just like that, we do also have to do the same thing, like we do have to give over here like hcl.com. Okay, so just like mention over here. Okay, now after that, what we have to do, we have to also give the password for the particular domain. Okay, so we are going to use the same password which is we have used. So you have to put the password, that is admin @ 123. Okay, so that is the password you have to put. This is for everyone, and then you can give the name of their particular domain. Okay, that is the full domain, forest domain, which is we called it, or root domain name. Okay, and this is your NetBIOS domain name. So inside the NetBIOS domain name, you have to give the HCL, the name which is NetBIOS HCL. Means always using this NetBIOS domain name, you are going to get logged in. Okay, then after pressing this domain name, this will ask the password, so you have to put the password after that. Okay, so we don't have to do anything after that, just go for the default settings, and then your these two features will be installed, like ADDS and the DNS, as you can see over here. Okay, inside the dashboard, let me show you as well. This is our dashboard. Okay, so that means we are going to add any kind of, if we have any kind of service or any kind of things, so we will get it over here. Okay, inside the dashboard of the server. Okay, so this is the thing which is we can do, and we can follow the same process. I will forward the same PDF to you, and I will do one thing. I will also mention um, the link of that particular link in your in the description box. Okay, guys, do you have any doubt or any things to ask regarding this?
No, sir.
Okay, let me do one thing. Let me add the role once again. So I think if that is work, so then we will just talk about. Okay, no, it's not going to take. So we have to click over here, right? Add role and features. Then click on next, role-based feature installation, and then go for the default settings. Now we are going to add the two things, okay? ADCS and ADDS, both the things I'm going to do. Okay, let me just do first of all ADDS first, okay? Click on add feature. and then click on next. Now, one more thing we are also going to tell you, that is Hyper-V. Okay. So what is the use of Hyper-V? That is also I'm going to tell you. Okay. So just wait for a few minutes. You guys have to check this box as well. Okay. Restart the designation server automatically if required. Okay. So after installing the feature, it will restart if it required. Okay. If it not required, so this is not going to install. Okay, just guys wait for a few seconds, few minutes. Okay, let the feature install, then we'll perform the next things. Okay, like next things is that, which is Hyper-V. Okay, so how you can add the feature or the roles of the Hyper-V, that is also we are going to talk about. Let the service install. This might take some time. Okay, now the feature is installed over here. Okay, so you can see over here that is in process, so let the feature install. Okay, so once it will install, then you have to click on close. Okay, now we have to add the domain. Okay, so now let's do this feature. You have to click on add a new forest. The deploy configuration has been complete. This is under process. So once this process will be done, so you can click on add a new forest. Okay, okay, you got it. So we have to give the give the domain name. So the domain name, which is hcl.com. Okay, so after that you have to click on next. Okay, then it will ask the password, about the password. So we will also see, let the this process will be complete. Okay, so this is, we are installing the domain service over here. Okay, let the installation begin, or let the installation will complete. Okay, so after that you have to give the password. Okay, so the password, you don't have to do any changes in this, because of by default whatever the operating system we are using, that will take it. Okay, so only you have to give the password. So let the machine come up, let this feature come up. After giving the password, this will ask admin@123, for the same as well, admin@123. Okay, so after that you have to click on, why this is not getting it. This is asking about the DNS installation, right? So you can see over here as well, domain name system, DNS server. So this is installation, as it's asking about the installation of DNS. Okay, so we have to close that. Let me close it. Come on. Okay, guys, so there is some feature which is we can do that. So I think we have to close this and then we have to open in basically whatever the feature which is we got it in that notification. I think only that only we are going to do. Okay, so this feature is already installed. Okay, so you have to click on close after that, and here is the Active Directory ADDS feature is installed. Okay, so as you can see as well inside the dashboard. Okay, now if you wanted to add any kind of any other services like DNS or DHCP, so you have to add, you have to go the same things, means you have to follow the same things for that, and then you have to use over here the DNS server. Okay, so you can use the DNS server option over here. You can enable the box and you can add the feature from here. Let me do that as well so you can get familiar with that as well. Okay, do it, continue, click on next, and then it will ask the feature. So you have to enable that feature, that is Net Framework 3.5 feature. Then click on next and then click on next and install. Okay, you can press over here the restart designation server automatically. So by following the same thing, you can add any kind of features, roles, which is you have on this Windows server. Okay, so let me install that feature as well. Okay, so now the installation is begin. This is installation process of DNS, domain name service. Okay, so after that we will see how many kind of events we have in that. We can create any events, we can create whatever we want regarding the users and all. Okay, that things we can do easily. Okay, I think that will take a few minutes or a few seconds and that feature will be installed. Sometimes this kind of installation we have to do it again and again. Okay, but sometimes we do not get this kind of things. So guys, this is the thing which is we have regarding the roles and features. If I'm talk about the Hyper-V, so basically the Hyper-V is a kind of software, the external software which is we have in that. Okay, and with using this Hyper-V, this is a kind of virtualization software, just like VMware. Okay, so this Windows have the Hyper-V. Okay, just like we do have VMware in that. Let me just tell you. Let me show you as well. Just like we have VMware in that. Okay, so what we do in that, like we have to put some any kind of machine if you wanted to add any machines in that, so we can add it. Okay, so just like that in Hyper-V as well, we do have the same process for the Hyper-V. Let me do one thing. Let me show you one thing as well over here. GNS. Okay, let me show you this. Basically, this is a kind of networking simulation tool where you will get all the kind of like routers, switches, and all the things. Okay, this is we called it GNS. Come on, sometimes this is not gonna be work. GNS3 VM. Let me open this once again. Let me show you. Okay, so GNS3 VM, we do have the multiple, basically, we do have the multiple virtual machines, like we do have VirtualBox, we do have VMware Workstation, okay, we do have VMware ESXi, which is right now, which is I'm using it, okay, and then we have Hyper-V. What we have? We do have Microsoft Hyper-V. So this is totally depend upon the kind of different kind of virtual machines. So we do have four type of virtual machine that this software support. This is recorded GNS3. So just like that, we can add any kind of operating system with that as well. We have to download the Hyper-V software, and then we can download that. Let me show you as well. Hyper-V download. Okay, so we can download the Hyper-V in the Windows 10 or anything which is we have. Okay, so we can also enable this feature from the services as well. Okay, or just like that, with using the some commands, we can add the features and the responsibilities and roles. Okay, so the same thing is also we have, just for the same process, we do have to follow the same thing. Okay, so this is the thing which is we can do with using the kind of Hyper-V and all the things. Okay, so this was all about the session of the Windows Server, which is we have. If you will have any doubt in that, guys, so you can ask me. Do you have any problem or anything to ask regarding this Windows Server? If
Sir,
yeah,
can you share those two links?
yeah,
AccuDirectory.
yeah, I will do one thing. I will share it. Basically, I'm recording this video, so I will upload
Yeah,
it. Okay, as well on the YouTube. I will share the link with you, and I will also mention the Active Directory link, that configuration link in the description box of the video as well. Okay.
Hyper-V also, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
AccuDirectory
both
plus Hyper.
both the
Yeah.
things I will mention it. Okay. So that is the thing, guys, which is we have regarding the Microsoft Windows Server. We have multiple things, guys. I'm not saying that we have just only that. We do have the multiple things in that. Like, let me show you the few parts as well, few basic features like the services and all. So we do have administrative tool, okay, Windows administrative tool. So in that, in the administrative tool, you can check the all the kind of status of the Active Directory user computer and all the things, or whatever the kind of tools which is we have installed it in that operating system. So you can check all the kind of tools from here as well. Okay. Now one more thing, let me show you one thing. Let me open the services, and in the services we do have the multiple service. Okay. Let me show you. So in services, you can see over here. Let me check one service over here, that is Hyper-V. Okay, Hyper-V and ISCSI means after installing the Hyper-V, we have to enable the service from here. Means, see, sometimes what would happen, like we install the Hyper-V feature on the roles and the features from the server manager, but that feature is not available if that feature is not enabled. So we have to enable it from here. Okay, So we have to do that. Windows Hyper-V, I think. Where is that? Let me just, here is that. Okay, so we have multiple things regarding the Hyper-V. We have Hyper-V volume, shadow copy. We have time synchronization service. We have remote desktop virtualization service. We have PowerShell direct service. Okay, we have heartbeat service. We have guest shutdown service. Okay, guest service interfaces. We do have data exchange services. Okay, so we have multiple features regarding the Hyper-V which is we can use. And regarding the ISCSI, I think we do not have over here. But once we enable the feature from the server manager, then we will get the service from here as well regarding the ISCSI initial software and hardware. Okay, so that things we can just suppose that I just wanted to enable the service of the PowerShell Hyper-V PowerShell. Okay, so how you can enable the service? Just click on that and then click on start the service. You have to click on start. So then the service is going to start. Okay, just like that. If you want to stop the service, so you can stop it by following this only one click. Okay, so this is the thing which is we have regarding the Hyper-V. Okay, guys, so that is the thing which is we have. I think that is enough for the introduction of the Windows Server now and the basic features of that as well. Okay, guys, so I'm going to turn off the machine. And if you wants to add any machines in that, so I have already made the video. So I will also mention that the video link in the description box of that as well, like how you can add any kind of operating system in VMware ESXi. Okay, so you can also watch that. That video has no sound, but you can follow the same process because of I was not speaking, and but you can follow the same process for the installation of the further installation of the any kind of operating system of inside the VMware ESXi. Okay, so that is the thing, guys, which is we have. Okay, guys, so I think that is enough for this.